Добрый день, коллеги, мы снова в эфире. Получается так, что нам удалось нагнать наше расписание. Мы немного опаздывали сегодня утром, но вот к обеду мы разогнались и практически начинаем даже немножечко раньше, буквально на 1-2 минуты. Но пока вы будете собираться, а, кстати, нас смотрит несколько тысяч человек, и эта цифра только растет. Я, пожалуй, немного расскажу, что же сегодня происходит на нашей конференции по изучению английского языка London is the capital of Great Britain. Во-первых, спасибо вам еще раз, что вы с нами. Сегодня в течение дня мы предлагаем вам различные мастер-классы от практикующих учителей, педагогов, как из России, так и из-за рубежа. Пожалуйста, смотрите, следите за программой. Если вы действительно хотите прокачать свои навыки преподавания английского, подключайтесь, слушайте наших спикеров. Сегодня еще также в 14 часов нас будет ждать еще одна дискуссия, на которой мы поговорим о ресурсах, которые можно использовать для изучения английского, а также о качестве этих ресурсов. Я уверен, что это будет очень познавательно и интересно. Присоединяйтесь в 14 часов. Ну и опять же, буквально пару слов, как смотреть трансляцию и как получить максимум от мастер-класса. Во-первых, задавайте вопросы и комментируйте выступления спикеров. Для того, чтобы прокомментировать или задать вопрос, используйте вкладку «Комментарии», которые находятся справа на вашем экране. Если вы чувствуете, что качество видео, картинки оставляет желать лучшего, вы можете попробовать вручную настроить картинку. Для этого в нижнем правом углу экрана вам нужно нажать на шестеренку и выбрать желаемое качество трансляции. Ну, а теперь я хотел бы представить нашего следующего спикера. Это наш гость из Великобритании. Ее зовут Стеф Маклоулин. Она директор международной школы Сент Джайлс Великобритании. Она выпускница университетов Кембриджа и Брайтона, имеет магистерскую степень в преподавании английского. Тема мастер-класса «Using project work as a key component of a syllabus for young learners». So, Steph, please, I would like to give you the floor, and please go ahead and welcome you here in our affair.
Thank you so much, Alexander, and thank you so much for the introduction and for the invitation. I'm very, very happy to be virtually in Moscow today. So I think we can begin. So can everybody see the slides at this point, Alex?
Yeah, our technical guys will assist you with the connecting the presentation to the picture. And you
Great,
can start with your presentation.
Syllabus is themed and topic-based. So we have a weekly theme, and these themes are mainly child and teen-friendly topics. So we have things like the environment, film, books, culture, and then every week we define project work as being something that we every day plan a little bit of, and then we present this at the end of the week. And this project is always linked to the theme. So the theme is the umbrella, and that project is linked to that theme. So we can move on to our next slide. The next one. Fantastic. So we'll look at a bit more of a definition. So I told you what a project is within the context of our school. So those projects could be different within your school. But in our school, as I mentioned, it is a week long, and we plan this every day. And then looking at more of a definition, we see projects as being collaborative. So this collaboration could be between the teacher and the students. So we always expect the teachers to go in with the main idea, the main topic. So the very first bit of the project is seen to be teacher-led. So the teacher goes in with the main idea, gives that to the students, and then the students grow that idea. So the collaboration originally is between the teacher and the students, and then between the students, because it is the students' projects. And as we can see, it is task-based, so it's the students who are creating that, who are managing it, who are the main components in it. Obviously, it is communicative, so communication is the main key of project work. And one of the main reasons why we like this and we do this is because it gives as much of an authentic situation in the classroom as much as it can possibly be within. Classroom's not really authentic, but if we're giving that situation, then we're sort of creating a real context within the classroom. I mentioned having themes earlier, and as I mentioned, our themes are mainly things like the environment and culture and history. So in this way, we can have our projects being cross-curricular. So this means that the students are not only learning English, but they're also learning things about the UK, when they are in the UK, things about the environment. We do things like writing business plans. So, with this, our students are learning like business vocabulary as well. And then the next thing is we want them to be cross-cultural as well. So we're quite fortunate in our schools. We welcome students of over 50 nationalities. So this means that the students can learn a lot from each other about their countries. If they're doing International Week or Food Week. So, they're learning not only English, but they're learning a lot about culture as well. Okay, so we'll move on to, so we've just looked at the main definition, so we'll look at some significant steps in the next slide. Okay, great. So it's really easy to for project work to flop if you don't have like significant steps, especially I find with new teachers, if it's not planned perfectly through the week, it could just be sometimes a bit of a waste of time and not very focused. So these are the steps we would follow to make sure that we're taking advantage of classroom time as much as possible. So first, we would always create a bit of stimulus. So something that would keep the students interested in the topic, trying to get them, really excited in what we're doing. So for instance, for one of our projects, which is designing a restaurant and launching, obviously, a fake restaurant, we would start off with maybe writing about like the top 3 restaurants that they've been to in their area, what's good about them, what's not great about them, and trying to get their interest in the topic a little bit. The next thing we would do is define the project objectives. And this is, we want students to have a clear idea of what we hope to achieve by the end of the week. So what do we want our project to look like? What do we mean to achieve from it? But also within like a language and skills aims as well. So students, we get a lot of students who are very academic and who want to study hard and who care about English so much. And we need them to know that they are not just designing a restaurant. It's not just fun, but what are they learning from that? What language are they learning? What are they practicing? What are the main aims within that project? We find it's really important to constantly discuss this with the students at the start of the week, at the end of the week, going through all of those aims with them, and then seeing which ones we have achieved. We need lots of skills work as well. So if students are going out doing research, listening to each other, or reading online. We need to make sure they're prepared for that reading, for that listening. We're giving them the functional language they need for their speaking. So if they're creating the project together, they need to know how to agree, how to disagree, how to give opinions. So making sure that we're giving them all of the language for project, for not only for the end of the project, but also for the project prep as well. I said earlier that we like the project to be generally teacher-led at the very start, at the beginning of the project. But then students need to be working in groups, and we need to be giving students different group activities so they make sure that they get as much speaking and as much of that authentic context as much as possible. Another part of it is the organization of materials. So some of these projects can actually be quite elaborate. You know, if you're making a video with your, creating a fair or anything like that. So we need to make sure that students are given different roles. So there are some students who are better at video editing, some students who are better at research. So just organizing all of the different tasks and all of the different materials. And then finally, there's the final presentation, but I'll talk about that in a little bit in the next slide. So can we have the next slide? Fantastic. So just some more tips which could help your projects to basically not flop. So the first one is to remember to monitor students as we would normally in class. So although it is the students who are leading the project and it's them working in their groups and talking to each other, and they are the main lead, and it is completely task-based, we do need to be going around while they're working in their little groups, monitoring the students, writing down any exceptional phrases that you've heard, any really good chunks of language that they've done, really well in class, maybe things that we've pre-taught before the session, going around and doing a bit of error correction. So we don't want to ruin the flow of the conversation. So generally we would write this down and then maybe have a bit of a grammar spot at the end of class saying, this is what I heard, how can we make this better? It's really, really, really important to be strict with timing, especially with really young learners, especially with the tasks that don't have too much linguistic value, anything like editing or colouring in or anything which isn't that much language based. So making sure we have a strict timing so we're on track with finishing the project at the end of the week, and we can focus on the more important language components within class. And this is the one thing that I think is the absolute most important thing about project work, and that is making a huge event out of the project presentation. So the picture that I have on the slide, this is a picture from one of our film nights. So the students created short 4 or 5 minute films. We presented the film at film night. We had a red carpet where the students were walking down the red carpet, took photos on the board, posted these on social media. We run family courses as well, and we invited the parents generally to see the projects, and that's normally really special because sometimes it's the first time the parents have heard their children speaking English. But basically it just makes it a bit more grown up, a bit more of like a reason to learn English because they're, being part of this incredible event at the end of the week. So here are some of our project ideas. So some things which we've done in our schools, which we think work really well. So making films, and we've made a variety of films. We've made documentaries, we've made little bits of comedy. So lots of language, lots of, really good pronunciation work. And it's something that's very easy to share with parents as well. So it's a great thing to do. We've done magazines, we've done things like travel blogs, written songs. We've created new cities. So this is something, especially in this current climate with, so many things happening in the world with, regards to the environment. Students really, we feel that they care a lot about, the current state of the world. They're really interested in the environment. So creating a new city, and this works well at every level as well, with really, sometimes it's hard to get project work ideas for low-level learners, but creating a new city, if you're pre-teaching all of the city vocabulary, it's very easy to help them create a poster and say a few words about the city. So it's a great project. And then we do lots of creating fake products and business, and then launching them and writing a business plan. And again, this works, although it sounds like a bit of an adult type topic, it works with really young children as well, because they really use their imagination and they normally have loads of ideas. And it's great to get all of that going. So I think that was, in a nutshell, our ideas for project work and how we do things in our school. I hope that was enjoyable for you, and please let me know if you have any further questions.
Class, that was terrific masterclass. I hope that in the nearest future, the Great Britain will reopen the country to welcome our kids and adults to study English, and we will be happy as it was previously. So I don't see any questions at the moment. Probably they will show up a little bit later in the chat. So thank you very much again. Коллеги, я поблагодарил Стеф за ее мастер-класс. Если у вас будут вопросы, вы можете также их написать в чат, мы постараемся на них ответить. Презентация Стеф будет доступна в карточке этого мастер-класса, в программе. Также в чат наш модератор скинет ссылку на программу, куда вы можете зайти и скачать любую презентацию из наших сегодняшних мастер-классов. Ну а сейчас мы уйдем на технический перерыв, чтобы вернуться к вам через несколько минут с новым мастер-классом от Оксаны Явербаум на тему «Мультисенсорный подход к обучению английского, к обучению языку детей младшего возраста». Пожалуйста, не переключайтесь, оставайтесь с нами. В это время, пока мы будем подключать нового спикера, вы можете заглянуть на виртуальную выставку на сайте салона в одноименном разделе «Выставка» и посетить виртуальные стенды экспонентов. Не переключайтесь.